Your dog does strange things every single day. Things that make you laugh, things that confuse you, things you've Googled at midnight. But most of what gets labelled weird behaviour isn't weird at all. It's communication. Your dog is running a system thousands of years old, and most owners spend an entire lifetime never learning to read it. These are 15 things your dog does and what they're actually trying to tell you. Stay until the end, because number 1 is the behaviour most owners misread completely, and getting it wrong changes everything. 15. They spin before lying down. Every night, same ritual. 3 rotations, sometimes 4, then they drop. It looks pointless. It isn't. This behaviour is hardwired from thousands of years before your dog ever saw a dog bed. Their ancestors flattened grass, checked for threats, oriented themselves before becoming vulnerable in sleep. Your dog has never slept in a field, but the protocol runs anyway because some instructions are written too deep to delete. When your dog spins before sleeping, they're following a system that kept their ancestors alive. The fact that they run it in your home, beside you, means they've decided this is safe enough. Microaction. Never rush them out of the spin. It takes 4 seconds. Let them have it. 14. They bring you things. A toy, a sock, something from the garden you'd rather not identify. They carry it to you with their tail high and drop it at your feet. Most owners say, "How cute," and move on. But dogs are possessive by nature. When a dog deliberately picks something up and carries it to you, they are going against instinct. They are sharing. In canine social structure, bringing an object to another individual is a profound trust signal. It means, I value this, and I value you enough to give it. That is not a small statement from an animal built around possession. Microaction. Always receive what they bring. Take it, acknowledge it, give it back. The exchange is the point. 13. They lick your face. Dogs don't do this to other dogs, only to humans they've bonded with. This behaviour originates in puppyhood. Licking a caregiver's face meant trust, safety, need. When your adult dog licks your face, that original meaning hasn't gone anywhere. They're also gathering information, your skin chemistry, your stress level, how you're feeling. A single lick gives them data you couldn't put into words. So when your dog licks your face, they're doing 2 things at once. They're saying, I trust you, and they're checking on you. Microaction. If you don't love the sensation, redirect to your hand. But don't push them away entirely. The impulse behind it is real. 12. They tilt their head when you talk. You say a word, their name, a question, and their head goes sideways, ears adjusting, eyes locked on yours. Most people assume it's just cute. It's active processing. The tilt adjusts their visual field to better read your facial expression. It repositions their ears to locate tone and source of your voice more precisely. They're not confused.
Good boy, you're such
They're
a good
paying
listener.
close attention, closer
love
than
how you
most
always
humans
look at
pay
me
to each
like
other.
that.
Your dog tilts their head because understanding you matters to them. Microaction. Talk to your dog more than you think is necessary. They're listening at a level you're underestimating. 11. They yawn when nothing seems wrong. You're sitting quietly. Your dog is beside you. Nothing is happening. Then a long, slow yawn. They're not bored. They're communicating. Yawning in dogs is a calming signal, part of a body language vocabulary most owners never learn exists. It can mean mild stress. It can mean, I'm trying to de-escalate. It can mean things need to slow down. Your dog is using a language they were born speaking, directed at you, hoping you'll understand. If your dog yawns during an interaction or something new, pay attention. They're telling you something about their internal state. Microaction. When you see an out-of-context yawn, pause whatever is happening. Give them a moment. They asked for one. 10. They eat grass. You're on a walk. Your dog lunges toward a patch of grass and starts chewing with urgency. The reasons are layered, sometimes dietary. Grass provides fibre a protein diet doesn't cover. Sometimes digestive. The texture relieves stomach discomfort. But grass eating that increases suddenly is often a signal that something internal has shifted. Your dog cannot tell you their stomach hurts. They reach for the closest thing their instinct offers. If you're the kind of owner who genuinely wants to understand your dog, hit like and subscribe. That's how we reach more people who want to love their dogs the right way. Don't panic over occasional grass eating, but if it becomes frequent and urgent, treat it as information, not a quirk. 9. They kick after pooping. The business is done. Then the kicks. Back legs scraping the ground, sending grass flying. This has nothing to do with covering anything up. The paws contain scent glands. Every kick deposits pheromones onto the ground, extending the message far beyond the waste itself. Your dog isn't just leaving a mark. They're broadcasting. The kick says, "I was here, I am present, I am not hiding it." The confidence of the kick, how vigorous, how extended, is itself part of the message to other dogs in the area. Micro-action. Don't rush them away mid-kick. They're finishing a sentence. 8. They run like something possessed for no reason. Perfectly calm. Then eruption. Sprinting in circles, back end tucked, eyes wild, covering maximum ground before collapsing like nothing happened. Dogs accumulate energy throughout the day. Emotional energy, physical energy, the residue of stimulation they couldn't act on. The zoomies are a pressure release, not misbehavior. Your dog's nervous system doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The triggers are consistent, after baths, after meals, before sleep. Your dog isn't losing their mind, they're recalibrating. Micro-action. When the zoomies start, clear the space and let them run. It ends in under 2 minutes. What follows is a dog who is genuinely settled. 7. They sleep on your clothes. You leave a shirt on the chair. You come back and your dog is on it, nose buried in the fabric, completely at peace. Your scent is not just recognizable to your dog, it is regulating. When you're not present, your smell activates the same neurological calming response as your physical presence. Your dog isn't just comfortable on your shirt, they're using it the way a child uses a security object, as a proxy for the person they're attached to. A dog who seeks out your clothing more than usual is telling you your absence weighs on them more than you realize. Micro-action. Leave a worn item in your dog's sleeping space when you go out. It costs nothing. It changes their experience of being alone. 6. They stretch toward you when you come home. You walk in. Your dog drops into a full body stretch, chest to floor, back end high, before greeting you. You probably thought they just woke up. They didn't. This is a greeting stretch, distinct in timing and body language from a rest stretch. It's directed at you, triggered by your arrival, followed immediately by engagement. It carries elements of the play bow, a signal that says, "You came back, and I am glad." Your dog is not stretching because their muscles are stiff. They are performing a deliberate social gesture that says, "I chose you, and I keep choosing you." Micro-action. Match their energy when you come home. 30 seconds of real greeting changes the texture of their entire day. 5. They follow you everywhere, every room, every time. The bathroom, the kitchen at midnight. You stand up, they stand up. Most owners call it clinginess. Very few understand what they're actually looking at. You are their pack, their safety system, the primary source of information about whether the environment is safe or dangerous. When you move, they monitor that movement, not because they're anxious, but because you are the most important variable in their world. The dog who follows you from room to room has decided, completely, that you are worth following. Most owners spend years stepping over that message on their way to the kitchen. Micro-action. Let them follow. The only time it warrants attention is if the following is accompanied by visible distress, panting, whining, inability to settle even when you're present, in the garden, into the sofa at midnight. The location tells you more than the behavior. Outdoor digging on hot days, thermoregulation, the earth below is cooler. Digging to bury objects, resource preservation, an instinct from before reliable food sources existed. Repetitive indoor digging into fabric, anxiety displacement. When emotional tension has nowhere to go, it goes into the pause. This type increases during conflict in the home, during routine disruption, during periods of stress your dog can feel but you haven't named. Microaction. Identify which type your dog does. The category tells you what they need: cooling, enrichment, or stress reduction. 3. They lick other dogs' ears. Your dog meets another dog. Within minutes, they're thoroughly cleaning that dog's ears while the other stands completely still. This is one of the most socially sophisticated behaviors dogs display. Ear licking only happens between individuals who have established real comfort, because the ear is a vulnerable area. Allowing another dog access to it means, "I have decided you are safe." The dog doing the licking is declaring trust, not just cleaning. They're also reading health information in real time. The chemistry of the ear canal changes with stress, infection, and hormonal shifts. Microaction. When you see this, don't interrupt it. You're watching two dogs establish something real. 2. They chase their tail. Occasional tail chasing in a young dog is curiosity. They're discovering that the moving thing attached to them is interesting, normal. But tail chasing that becomes repetitive, that happens in response to specific triggers, that the dog cannot disengage from, that is a different signal entirely. Repetitive tail chasing is a stereotypy, a behavior that emerges when an animal's needs are not being met. Insufficient exercise, insufficient mental stimulation, high baseline anxiety. The behavior releases tension short term, which is why it gets repeated. But the repetition means the underlying need is chronic. Microaction. If it's occasional, normal. If it's daily and they can't stop when redirected, increase exercise and introduce mental enrichment. Track whether it changes within 2 weeks. 1. They watch you leave. You pick up your keys, put on your shoes. Your dog tracks every movement. By the time your hand touches the door, they're already at a specific point, the place they always go when you leave. And they stay there, watching the door, waiting. Most owners never see this part. They're already gone. What happens in the minutes and hours after you leave is the part of your dog's day you know the least about and affects them the most. For a dog whose entire sense of safety is organized around your presence, your departure is not neutral. It is the daily disappearance of the most important thing in their world. How they handle that disappearance depends almost entirely on what you built before you left, the quality of the bond, the predictability of your return, the environment you left them in. A dog who trusts completely that you will come back, who has enrichment, who has comfort, who has routine, that dog can hold the absence. A dog who isn't sure, who has learned that the routine is unpredictable, that the absence sometimes stretches, that the return brings tension, that dog watches the door from a different place entirely. You will never see your dog watch you leave, but they do it every time. And what's written on their face in that moment is everything you've built with them, reflected back. Microaction. Before you leave tomorrow, spend 5 minutes of real, undistracted presence with your dog. Not beside them while you're on your phone. With them. It won't fix the hours, but it tells them, "You matter to me before I go." Your dog has been communicating with you every single day, in spins and stretches and yawns and the way they watch the door after you leave. They never stopped trying to tell you. The only question was whether you were listening.